greatest amount of insight into this meeting. Our Foreign Affairs Editor Geeta Mohan and Senior Executive Editor Gaurav Sawant are with us. Geeta, to you first, the bilaterals that are on right now between both sides are going to be a kind of clearing the decks for the big 2+2 tomorrow.
Well, absolutely, and also very few specifics, Shiv, that cannot be covered in a 2+2 ministerial are going to be discussed or are being discussed even as we speak between Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Secretary Esper. Similarly, at 7 p.m. when the meeting takes place between Jaishankar and Pompeo, there are many aspects of bilateral ties on foreign policy front which cannot be discussed in the 2+2 ministerial and therefore would be touched upon or discussed in detail in the bilateral. Having said that, the 2+2 ministerial is going to be a very important one. Like you rightly pointed out, the basic exchange and cooperation agreement to be signed between the two sides will take India-US relations to another front altogether. And yes, China is concerned.
Yes.
China is watching. China, in fact, has put out so many opinion pieces in the past 2 days of how this is bound to fail. Given the kind of track record they have in getting the entire idea is absolutely wrong, it wouldn't be a surprise that they are absolutely scared and wrong about this one too. And this is certainly going to be or will set the tone and tenor for Indo-US ties, irrespective of who comes to the White House come November 3rd.
And Gaurav, you know, the importance of the agreement that's being signed cannot be understated. You and I have both covered the other foundational agreements that have been signed in the past on communications, interoperability and logistics. This one is on geospatial, information, highly specialized, not shared with anyone in the world. A real sign of the trust in India in a new world order, and it gives India huge targeting capabilities in a very dangerous neighborhood.
It indeed does, Shiv. And look at the statement that came from US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo before he left the United States of America. The US looks at India as a global player, as a world power, not just as a regional power. The United States and India together play a much crucial role and a bigger role in this entire Indian Ocean region and Indo-Pacific region. So when India and the United States have the 2+2, what are they talking about? Relationship between India and the United States of America. BECA plays a very important role. Remember, LEMOA has just been used, or the logistics agreement has just been used for India to acquire more than 15,000 extreme high altitude jackets, trousers, sleeping bags and other gear for our troops deployed at the line of actual control. The Americans said, take what we have, we'll make more, but at least take this for your soldiers. So LEMOA came in handy there. BECA will come in handy, Shiv, for accurate targeting of enemy locations should the need arise. So they're not only talking about Indo-Pacific, they're also talking about Afghanistan. India wants to play a bigger role in Afghanistan. They're talking about how to counter China. They're also talking about, and remember, Mike Pompeo after this goes to Maldives, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, 3 countries that China is trying to spread its footprints. India and America intend to counter that.
Stay with me, Gaurav and Geeta. We've got a quick update on this developing story that we're tracking on the big bilateral meeting between the defense ministers of both sides. That meeting between Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and his US Secretary of Defense Mark Esper has just ended. Rajnath Singh has tweeted saying that the talks were fruitful and were aimed at further deepening the bilateral cooperation between both sides. Geeta, a customary tweet coming in from the Defense Minister on those talks between himself and the visiting Secretary of Defense. So it looks like all systems go for the 2+2 tomorrow.
Absolutely, Shiv. And remember, this is only the first meeting of the series of meetings that are going to take place. The top leadership of the United States of America is also going to call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi tomorrow. It just seems like we'll have to wait for a bit to get all the details out on what really transpired. There might not be an announcement, so to say, of the signing of BECA, but we'll certainly be getting source-based information for you very soon on what really transpired and whether there's a confirmation on the deals that are going to be or agreements that the two sides have are going to sign and agree upon.
Geeta, thanks very much for that. We're looking forward to that big meeting between India's External Affairs Minister and his US counterpart, Mike Pompeo. It's happening at 7 p.m. today. All the updates will be first, as always, here on India Today. We're taking a very quick break. I have a little bit more for you on 5 Live when you come back. Stay with me.